Hello, my darlings. Welcome, welcome. Trouble in paradise. That's the theme. That's the theme of today. Trouble in paradise. Dude, I am normally the most glass half full human you could ever find on this planet. And I don't normally, I try not to give too much energy to what I'm about to talk about today, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share it because, I know because I feel to. I feel that it's maybe somebody needs to know, maybe this is going to be helpful for someone to know what it's like living on your Chiron line, which is my current experience. So, without geeking you out too hard, basically, if you get your astrology map, your astrology chart, and you map that over the world, you can get a sense of what it's going to be like living in different countries and different places. And God, do I wish that I would have known a lot more about this. Like before I moved to the sunny coast, I didn't really understand what I was moving to, what I was coming to. But basically, there's these horizontal lines that impact how we feel in places. And the one that I have on the sunny coast is Chiron. Chiron is the core wound man. And it's like, I was like, what does it feel like living here? And it feels like I am walking around in permanent quicksand. That is what it feels like. It feels like everything is hard, no matter what I try. It is slow and tedious and difficult, and things that should just be like one quick phone call, one quick thing are like seven phone calls. 3 weeks later, you're still trying. Like, just it is like resilience training to the 5 billionth degree. It is like patience testing. It has broken me down to my knees about 7 gazillion times. I've lost like nearly everyone who used to be in my life, like 6 or 7 years ago. Like most people are gone in the ways that they were here before. So much pain around um relationships disintegrating or not, having the type of longevity that is meaningful to me, or the type of depth or the type of nourishment that's meaningful to me, constantly feeling like I can't get my needs met, and it never ends, it never ends, it never ends. There's this Chiron vibe because, dude, like the amount of personal development and unicorn positivity that I hold is strong. I am like a glass half full kind of girl. And I'm telling you, if I can't be happy somewhere, like God, like I can be happy in places. I can always find the good. But man, I guess what I'm left feeling in my soul is that I'm not meant to try to force myself to belong somewhere where clearly I'm just not meant to be. And that is my experience after, a good 5, 6 years here before I went traveling and now returning to wrap up my life here. And even that, I thought I was just coming back for a few months, but oh my God, everything moves at this snail pace here, which is why I didn't want to return, which is why I've been in denial of coming back to finish my tiny house renovation so that I can put it on the market, sell it, and then leave Australia long term because things are hard here, things are slow here, but not in a good kind of slow, in an agonizing kind of want you to pray for death, like, slow. And it's weird. I kind of almost want to say that this is the place I had to come to boot me out of Australia. It's like this was the place that became so painful that I went exploring, I went traveling. Oh, dude, I haven't set my timer. I don't know how long I've been. Is that going to get old? My timer's sitting right here, ready to go to have been set. It's now set, but I don't know how long I was talking already. Anyway. Let's see. Let's see how we go. Let's see what happens. I'm assuming that was only a couple of minutes. Fingers crossed. I don't actually know how long that was. But there's something about having come, like, I am grateful within it all. I am grateful to have come to this, land of agony, the land where all good things came to die, is what it feels like. And am I grateful? I mean, like bittersweet, yes, kind of, because it completely recreated me. I barely remember who I was all those years ago when I moved to my Chiron line. Like it has built me from the ground up, like rebuilt me from the ground up, where I had no choice but to face my pain, all my trauma, all the stuff that I used to try and happy, positive vibe over. Uh Sometimes in healthy ways and sometimes not, because I basically just felt like I couldn't heal. I felt like I couldn't heal. And that's definitely not the case now. I feel strong in myself. I feel like living on this Chiron line, man, there was no escape from my need to heal. Like I just had to heal. But whew, heavy is all I can say. The process, so heavy. And um I feel like I want to give examples of what it's like. What does it actually like? What does it mean to live on a car online? Dude, I do not recommend it. If anyone is getting their astrocartography lines done and there's a Chiron energy line to go and live on, I would say pause that and move 100 k's away from that bad boy because it's just not going to bring you joy. That's my experience anyway. But what I don't know if that is because I am also currently in a Chiron transit. I'm having my Chiron return, and I have Chiron conjunct my moon in my chart. Without getting too geeky, basically, it's just that Chiron, the asteroid, is right up, bumped up against my moon in my chart, which means that I will constantly be feeling my Chiron anyway. I have an over tendency to oversensitivity, to over feel my wounds being triggered. So then you have that combined with a transit like of Chiron is moving back around, like shimmying back over that spot in my chart saying, remember me, old friend, we're coming. And I'm like, thank you kindly, my friend. And for me, Chiron's around for like 6, 7 years. I think I'm about 5 years in. I've got another year and a half or so to go. And then I moved at the beginning of that Chiron transit to my friggin' Chiron line. That's triple Chiron. I say don't. I say if you have a triple Chiron opportunity, don't be like me. Don't take it. Don't be a freaking number. I can't swear because YouTube will cut me. So I have to come up with creative terms. Anyway, don't be a creature that is thinking that they want to see how much resilience they can build. Apparently you can build a lot, but is it a pleasant journey? No. Let me give you some examples of some of the things that have happened on my Chiron line. But before I do that, I am going to show you this. Let me show you my Chiron line. All right, look at me sharing my screen like a friggin' boss. Okay, this is my Chiron line. Okay, now let me. Okay. So basically, this is the energy. Chiron and Moon, this is where I am living, okay, between Karoi and Gympie. So Chiron is this energy that I feel on a constant basis. It's like just this like shadow. It's like a dark freaking cloud over my soul that I have good days for sure. And mostly I do feel joyous. And I'm like, man, if I can feel joyous here, I can feel joyous anywhere because there is just this permanent dark cloud that sits here. It's like sitting in like trigger soup, like constantly prodding, constantly like messing with me. Thank freaking sweet mercy. I also have this Sun and Neptune local space. The Sun is like this energy of shining, and Neptune is the line of spirit. Obviously, because I'm a psychic, I'm into spiritual stuff. I think that these are sweetening the deal for me. I think these were what pulled me here to this spot. And you know, I'm grateful for them. But the thing about living near a Neptune line is it makes you want to escape and it feels like there's a fog and it's hard to get clarity. So whilst it's great, like the Neptune and Sun combined have helped me create like massive amounts for my spiritual business, like create the whole massive program of teaching people to connect with their intuition like I created, a lot of that here. And for that I'm grateful. That's a perfect spot, but just it's like this dark little nugget chucked in that's all happening on the Chiron line, and it's all happening while I'm having this Chiron transit. The Chiron is currently passing through right over the Chiron spot in my chart, and let's just say none of that is freaking pleasant. None of that is a beautiful thing. I'm going to stop sharing. Yes. So that's that's where I am. That's where I am. And I'm like 40 minutes from Noosa, which is basically paradise. I was going to chuck a little video of Noosa in here, but I don't know if I could be bothered editing it in, dude. Just Google it. Please Google it. If I could be bothered, it's in here. If I couldn't, I couldn't. I don't think I have it in me today. Google that bad boy. Noosa. I'm in Noosa. I'm like 40 minutes from Noosa. I'm in paradise. I'm in heaven, but it doesn't feel like I'm in heaven, right? So when I go to Noosa, I'm a little bit closer to this Ceres line, which is like this feeling of being nourished and nurtured. Thanks, sweet mother, that I have that. But when I'm back in my tiny house, back in my home, it's like the fog sets in. I want to escape, and I feel those wounds. And it's like just this feeling of like, I guess what happens for me on my Chiron line is that the core wounds come up. Chiron is your core wound. And for me, it's this feeling of not belonging. And it's like sitting around in not belonging soup, like just being prodded. It's like, meh, meh, just like something keeps wanting to get you. And like, it is like resilience training on roids, patience training. I'm not a very patient person, but if spirit wanted to bring me patience and resilience, I am in the perfect spot because the amount that I've lost, like the amount of things that have fallen apart, it's unfreaking real. And the way that living on a Chiron line, that everything just turns into like the biggest, longest, most painful, most agonizing expression of that experience, it has blown my mind, and it has like humbled me to my knees a billion times over. So, for example, like innocent things, like go to visit a friend, go to visit a bunch of friends. And what happens? I have a hand injury, like break a bone in my hand. And instead of that just being a no big deal hand injury, what happens? What happens is that they read the x-ray wrong, like all 3 times that I got the x-rays done during the healing process. All 3 times they read the x-ray wrong. 3 different practitioners read the x-ray wrong, and they missed a core thing in the x-ray was that the bone had spun, and they missed that in the x-ray, so the bone healed in the wrong position. And I ended up on a journey of 1 year of hand rehab, having to relearn how to use my hand, where my hand was frozen in position, like, and I couldn't move my fingers. And I live in a tiny house where everything was hard. I couldn't do anything alone. It was like pure agony. It was like Chiron hell. And through that process, my business completely collapsed because Spirit had been telling me for a period of time that I needed to stop doing readings and start speaking and teaching. But I was too scared. I was too scared. I was too scared. And so I kept just doing what I was doing what I was doing. And Spirit brought in the Chiron. Toma, like, take that bad boy. Toma is like, take that in Spanish. It's like, toma, take that bad boy. And apparently I now listen to my intuition because my intuition is hardcore. When I don't listen, things happen. Not good things happen when I don't listen, when I live on my Chiron line. and like, oh my God, it's just, I don't want to give you like this boring, like, I could give you the biggest snail trail of just agonizing episodes of agonizing episodes, but it's like everything, it's like, you know, quicksand that never ends. And just you like everything you got to do 10 times harder and longer. And, so like, for example, like this whole journey of this menopause journey. And menopause is a whole thing for many women. I totally get that. I'm no different, but don't do menopause on a Chiron line. That's all I'm friggin' saying. Because for me, what ended up happening was this like crazy, crazy bleeding out. Anyway, crazy experience that, ended me up in hospital needing blood transfusions and then needing major surgery and changing my body permanently, like things that like everything's just bigger, longer, heavier, more intense, and left with this feeling of like there's no escape. I can never fix it. Nothing's ever gonna get better. If you need to go somewhere where you want to build resilience, then yes, Chiron is a place that could help you do that. Do I recommend it? No. Find somewhere else. Find somewhere else. It's shit. Basically. What else do I want to say? Let me press pause, see if I've got any last little nuggets. How am I going? Not too bad. I guess, like, to be fair, to be fair to this Chiron energy that I'm living on, is that I can't deny that it has completely alchemized my entire life. Like, I am not the person that I was when I came here. It has healed me, like from the ground up, completely, really, and for that I am grateful, beyond grateful, more than grateful, like life-changing, I feel generally peaceful, generally happy. Yes, I have my wobbly days. Yes, I have my moments where Chiron digs its little prod in and goes, home girl, don't forget where you're living. We still got you by the girlies, still got you, tiger. And I'm a human, right? I have my days, but I am grateful because I never knew that mostly I could feel good. And if I can feel that on a Chiron line, oh my God, I feel like I could feel that anywhere. If I can feel good here, I feel I can feel good anywhere. Um, because the amount of healing, deep healing that I have done here, like it's to the root kind of healing. This has been the stuff that you don't want to do, the hectic stuff, the stuff that, to be honest, I felt really, I think, broken, broken. A lot of really serious trauma, lots of types of trauma in my childhood and early childhood and, teen years as well. Uh, 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 what should we say? A smorgasbord, a smorgasbord of trauma, heavy, and not stuff I talk about a lot, and stuff that, had lots of therapy. I've tried lots of things, and nothing was really, I felt like I couldn't heal, like there was something in me that was broken. And um and I guess that is one of the biggest things that's changed coming here, was that I had to stop running from the pain inside me, um from the parts of me that felt broken, from some of the, I guess, horrifying experiences that I have survived, like many of us have, and that I didn't know how to find how to land in a place of feeling that I had a right to daily peace, love, joy. I didn't know how to land in that. And so the weird thing is that as much as all this pain came up, and how hard and slow things are on a Chiron line, like how slow things move, how hard it is to get traction on stuff. Things heal. Things heal. and if you're willing, things heal at the root. And that's why I think I was here for as long as I was. And that's why I think I had to come back, was to be willing to face stuff at the root, like my deepest pain, my deepest trauma. And for me, one of the biggest things was that all this, psychological, sexual, psychological trauma that I experienced in my earlier years, they impacted me in this way. I should have said trigger warning. My apologies, trigger warning. They impacted me in this way where I think, like a lot of people experience trauma, where you don't know what you don't know, right? And I didn't quite get that I had created a version of myself. I had created this version of myself that was constantly assessing whether I was behaving in accordance with what was acceptable and what would bring me any shrapnel of love. Because the love story that I had was like really toxic, I was taught that I could only be loved if I behaved in very specific ways that were not authentic to who I was, and that if I did not behave in those ways, that any love would be withheld, or that there would be some type of punishment. And that was really dredged in, that story, both at school and at home and in various aspects of my life and in my early childhood. And so I didn't even, it was like beyond me, this concept of who I even really was, because it was just unsafe to be that. And so what I think this Chiron energy has taught me and given me the strength has been letting go of the need to keep people in my life if they can only love me when I turn up as they desire. If I am a good girl, if I follow very specific behavioral rules, and if I follow those, then I'm loved, but if I don't, then I'm not. And living on this Chiron line has given me the courage to let that go, to let that story go, and to begin building a new story. And I'm very much at the beginning of building a new story. I developed the most hectic social phobia, like a full proper clinical social phobia, because of the amount of pain and social loss that I experienced living on my Chiron line. But I guess the good that's come is that I now know that what is building from the root is real. There's no BS here. Like, I can't do BS anymore. I'm not even capable in this frequency, in this energy that I live in. The only thing that is available, like, is truth, like reality, truth, and yeah, the pain gets dug up and yeah, things move slowly. But how grateful am I to have been somewhere that forced me to face the stuff that I was never going to want to look at the way that I had to look at it. I had to sit in agonizing. I had to sit in my pain and like moan that hectic bad boy out, like moan it, groan it out of me, sob it out of me. All this stuff stuck in my physical body that had to be let go of. And I guess now I feel like I'm ready, I'm going to leave in 3 months is my cutoff date. I'm giving myself 3 months, like the next month, to finish my tiny house, hopefully the next 2, 3 weeks, get it on the market, and then prepare full-blown plans of exiting Australia, because I feel like Chiron's prepped me to do that. And I'm ready, because I feel like I've faced every possible resilience training. It's like an escape room, like training, like living on a Chiron line. So if you're thinking of doing it, all I could say is go with caution, but don't do a triple bill like me. I'm hardcore. Don't do what I did. I would not have done it knowingly. And that's why it took me a while to come back because I knew what I was stepping back into. Like the darkness descends, baby. So that is what I'm living on. That is why I'm freaking leaving. And I feel like Chiron gave me the last chapter, like of what I needed in this country and is preparing me with the resilience and strength. It's really built me into the full version of the truth of who I am, and it's preparing me to step into this full expression of self in new lands around the world, and that's freaking exciting. That's freaking cool. Oh, if you're watching, I'm so grateful. I love you, and if you want to keep hanging out with me, I would love that. Would love for you to subscribe, like this video, do the things. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next one. We can hang out again. I send you all my love, all my courage for you to remember who you are, for you to fight your own little inner Chiron demons wherever you're living. And yeah, a million blessings your way, beautiful soul. Mwah. Ciao, beauty.